It's Monday, July 30th, 2018, and welcome to Eezeey Gamer, where we're going to talk about No Man's Sky and did their negative publicity actually keep them relevant? Now, if we all remember back to 2016 when No Man's Sky was released, there we were promised the moon and the rest of the galaxy and more galaxies and the universe. We were promised so many things. We were promised big dinosaurs and giant environments that were all different, and every planet would feel different and you could explore and with your friends and stuff. We were promised so much. It really reminded me of Peter Molyneux with Fable. So we were promised a lot of stuff. When the game came out, it was ugly. It was sparse. It was maybe 50%, and that might be being generous, of what the actual game was, advertised to be. And this comes from, the developers themselves. These are the people that made these promises or made these boasts. I mean, maybe not promises, but they said this is what the game was going to be. So the game came out so badly that it's like, I think the United Kingdom sued or was looking into a lawsuit against Hello Games for false advertising or something along those lines. Basically saying you promised this and you didn't deliver anything close to it. I don't think anything actually ever came of it. I think they kind of just, dropped it, or they didn't, pursue it in any way. But this game had so much negative publicity surrounding it. People were bashing it. People were destroying it. The game was nowhere near what it should be. But did that help the game stay relevant? Now, off and on, this is a game that was broken, buggy, didn't work. It was, it was half the game that we were promised. It wasn't good. It wasn't pretty to look at. There was a lot of problems with it. But every time Hello Games would release an update, and I think it's Hello Games, I might be getting that right. I might be thinking of Hello Kitty. I don't know. But Hello Games, every time they would release some kind of a major update or a major patch or something for the game, I would hear people talk about it. This is when Mass Effect Andromeda was having problems, I never heard about the patches that were coming out to fix the problems. I think I heard about one of them, and they released several. I don't think they ever fixed everything, but every time Hello Games was going to release something big for No Man's Sky, I would hear about it. People would talk about it. The media would talk about it. Kind of like one of those things. It's like, oh, well, now they're putting that in. Oh, now that's getting fixed. Oh, now that's, but it kept it relevant. If this was just an average game that, kind of came out and everybody went kind of like, meh, it's okay. If the game would have been finished and it would have been okay, and people would have said, yeah, it's got some of the stuff they talk about, it's kind of fun, and there wasn't a lot of controversy surrounding it, would people have still been talking about it? We're talking almost 2 years later, and they finally released No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky Next, which I guess has fixed a lot of things and has put in a lot of stuff that they said was going to be in the game 2 years ago. And now people are talking about that. People are talking about how good the game is now, how much fun it is to play, how many things you can do. This is what the game was supposed to be. People that bought into it when it first came out are, saying how good it is and how much they're enjoying it and getting back into the game. And then people who didn't want to play it are now talking about how much they want to play it. Or the ones that have played it are talking about how much they're enjoying playing it, going back into it. I have a, I know that this is kind of the game that they wanted to create. And there was some buzz and some things like that that said the reason they had to release the game as early as they did was because of production. And you have to meet deadlines. And sometimes, like I said, like I've said with Cyberpunk 2077, sometimes you're just pushed to release a game before maybe you want to, although not with Cyberpunk 2077. Mass Effect Andromeda. Cyberpunk 2077 is not in the same boat as that. But Mass Effect Andromeda, I talked about that in one of my videos where I think that game got pushed to be released because it was costing EA a lot of money. The shareholders, like I said, when a game is not released, it's not making money. It's just sitting there. Now, there's two trains of thought on it. You can hold the game until it's 100% done or as close to done as you feel like you can make it. But you're not making any money, and so you're just putting more money into it. And if the game isn't successful, you've spent a lot of money on a game that wasn't successful. Or you release the game in a state that is close to done, and then you hope that people like it enough that they'll play it, and then you get this influx of money so that you can use that money to fix some of the problems. But at least you have money coming in. And then you basically address some of the problems. And Hello Games, they released No Man's Sky, they got some money that came in, and maybe that's what they needed to kind of push forward. Almost like investors, like they released an alpha version of the game or something, or even just a early beta version of the game, but they needed to get some of that money to maybe fix some things because they needed an influx of cash. Now, I don't know any of that stuff. That's all speculation. So, but it's just kind of one of those things where you have to start thinking, Hello Games is not a giant game company. So the fact of the matter is, if they would have continued to work on this game for 2 more years, would this company been able to keep its doors open for 2 more years without having some influx of money come in? Because, think about it. The game is made almost perfect now. 2 years later after its initial release. This is not Electronic Arts. This is not Blizzard. This is not BioWare. This is not this is not, I think I said Bethesda. This is not Activision. This is not any of the giants of the industry. This is a little company. This is a little production company or development company. So they don't have a big stockpile of cash that they can sit on. Even look at a company like EA. They don't like to just sit on games. They like to get them out and start making money on them. So would Hello Games have been able to keep its doors open for 2 more years while this game fully developed? Now, I don't think they'll ever come out and say that was the reason they released the game 2 years early. Because I don't think they would want to ever admit or tell people that it's like we released the game 2 years early because we needed people to give us money. Because that would give you so much bad press. Because it's like, at that point, you got to be honest. It's like you're just saying, look, we're releasing the game, but there's more to come. But we can't keep making this game without some kind of money coming in. So if you buy into the game, then it gives us more money so that we can continue to improve the game. But when I first saw No Man's Sky in 2016, I kind of wanted to play it. I looked at it and I said, that looks like an interesting game. Then the game came out, and the negative reviews and the fact that it was minimal compared to what it was supposed to be made it so I didn't want to play the game anymore. I kept looking and seeing. It's like it would always get mentioned. And they say, well, this has been done to it now, and this has been done to it, and they've added this, and they put this in, and they fixed a couple other things. Never really wanted to do it. But this No Man's Sky Next, I've seen some gameplay on this. I've seen screenshots. I've seen some some people inside the gaming industry talking about it. They like it. The game looks really good now. It's very vibrant. The worlds look a lot more alive. And now I'm in. I think I might get this game, and it's on the Xbox One now. So I'm seriously thinking about putting in the money and getting this game right now, because it looks like it might be a lot of fun. It looks like it was the game it was touted to be 2 years ago, but wasn't. But the negative publicity kept them relevant. So when they released this massive patch, it was one of those games. It's like, I think the gaming press said, it's like, can you really fix that? That game was bad 2 years ago. Can you really fix it? So the gaming press went back in and looked at it, and now they're coming out and saying, it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's a good game. It's like, it's worth your money. It's worth your time. If Hello Games would have released an average game, a meh game, I don't think we would be talking about it 2 years later. I think we'd be talking about, we wouldn't care. There'd be those few people that stuck with the game for this long who'd be trying to convince other people to play, but we wouldn't be hearing about it. It would just be one of those games where it's like, it's there, it's out. They've updated it, they've patched it. We see tons of games updating and patching all the time. So nobody's really going to buy in. But I think the negative hype, the negative publicity, the really bad press that this game got kept it relevant. Every time something would happen, they would basically go in and they would, the video game media would actually sit there and tell us about it. And then when this came out, the video game media is still hanging around and still want to talk about this game and see if this game that was so terrible 2 years ago can improve to where it is. And it's a great story, so they talk about it. And I talk about it, and other people are talking about it. And now No Man's Sky might be a legitimate success, and think about where it was 2 years ago. And I hope it is. I believe that their intentions were always good. I believe that their intentions were always to make us a good game. I just don't know if they had the money to do it. And they might have needed an influx of cash to finish everything off. And I think they got a little bit of an influx of cash, but I think they've done a very good job with it. And by what I've seen of the game, it looks amazing, and it looks like a lot of fun. It could be a game I sink a lot of hours into if I purchase it, and I'm pretty sure I will. It looks really amazing. But tell me, did you buy the game when it first came out? Are you looking to buy the game now? Do you not trust Hello Games? Do you think this is the game we should have gotten 2 years ago, and we should have gotten it because that's what they told us we were getting 2 years ago, and so you're still mad? For me, it wasn't a big deal, because I wasn't really gonna, I wasn't hyped about the game. It was just one of those games I was looking at going, I might get that. That looks pretty good. It's not like Forza Horizon 4 where it's like I'm just like, why isn't it September 28th yet? I'm not waiting, because I've got the advanced copy of Forza, so I know it comes out like October 2nd or something like that, but so don't sit there. It comes out October 2nd, 2018, but it's like I have the advanced copy. I'll get it 4 days early. 4. That's right. It's sort of a lot of extra money, right? For me, it is. So, tell me what you think. Are you going to play No Man's Sky now? Do you still feel like it's not a game that's really for you? Let me know down in the comments below. With all that being said, to the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom.